Hi, I'm Linda Matthews, and in this video I'll be showing you how to make quick and easy printable junk journals using my new junk journal cover and page template set. This template set includes 14 different templates in 9 different sizes. There's a total of 126 templates that you can mix and match to make different sizes and styles of printable junk journal covers as well as pages. You can make no-sew junk journals with signatures that are stitched into the spine so you can see the stitching along the spine. And you can also make journals with stitches that are hidden in the spine. The covers are sized to print onto a sheet of US letter size paper or A4 paper and range in size from a spine width of 0 inches, which is just a simple folded cover, through to 2 inches wide. Included are templates to make covers with basic spines as well as wraparound spines, and you can also add a cover inlay for both styles of spine. The template set is designed to be used with a photo editing program such as Photoshop or Photoshop Elements. However, you can use the templates with other free online editors such as Photopea, which has similar layers and tools as Photoshop. And although Canva doesn't have the same sort of tools as Photoshop, I've also included several templates that make it easy to create these covers and pages in Canva. These templates are perfect for designing and creating your own printable junk journals quickly and easily without any real design experience needed. To get started designing, open a basic cover template. I'm using a 1-inch spine template. Then add a digital paper and move it to a layer underneath the template. Every cover design starts with this basic cover template. This is the template that includes all the fold lines and cutting guides. As you can see, the template provides guides for fold-over tabs around the edges and crease lines along the spine area. The fold-over tab design helps to add strength to the edges of the cover to prevent it from tearing easily. To make a very quick and simple cover, you could save this file in JPEG format and print it out onto good quality cardstock. You could also add a border template to create a basic cover with a vintage style border. Open the basic spine border template and move it to a layer above the basic cover template. If you want, you can adjust the opacity of the border to blend it better with the background. For a basic cover with a different colour spine, open the basic spine template in the same spine width. This is a 1-inch spine template. Position the template on the layer above the basic cover template. Add a digital paper and position it on the layer above the basic spine template. Then clip it to the layer below. To clip the layer, right-click on the paper layer to open the sub-menu, then select Create Clipping Mask. The clipping mask applies the properties of the clipped layer to the shape of the layer below. You can use the same border template to create a vintage-style border around the edges. Just make sure to move the border template to the top layer. To add a cover inlay, open the cover inlay template for the basic spine in the size that you're using. Add a digital paper on the layer above the template and clip it to the layer below. If you want to add a vintage style border, Open the cover inlay with basic spine border template and move it to the top layer. Then adjust the opacity if needed. This is what the cover with a basic spine looks like when it's assembled. For a basic cover with a wraparound spine, start with a basic cover template. Then add a digital paper and move it to a layer underneath the template. Open the wraparound spine template in the same spine width. Position the template on the layer above the basic cover template. Add a digital paper and position it on the layer above the wraparound spine template and clip it to the layer below. To clip the layer, right-click on the paper layer and open the sub-menu. Select Create Clipping Mask. To create a vintage-style border around the edges, open the basic cover for wraparound spine border template and make sure to move it to the top layer. To add a cover inlay, open the cover inlay for wraparound spine template in the correct size and move it to the top layer. Add a digital paper above the template and clip it to the layer below. If you want to add a vintage style border, open the cover inlay with wraparound spine borders template and move it to the top layer. To design a lining for the inside of the cover, open the cover lining template. Add a digital paper and move it to the layer underneath the template. The lining template allows you to make a lining that is sized slightly smaller than the cover so that you can glue it on without any edges overlapping. Print the lining onto good quality copy paper or cardstock. Cardstock will help make the cover more rigid. This is what the cover with a wraparound spine looks like when it's assembled. The spine section wraps around to the front and back cover by about an inch. Also included in the template set are templates to make pages that fit inside the covers. You can use these templates to design your own unique junk journal pages. The pages are sized slightly smaller than the cover so that they fit comfortably inside. To create a page, open a page template. Then add a digital paper and move it to the layer underneath the template. Resize the digital paper to fit within the template area using the resizing handles. You can resize and distort most papers by about 10% in width or height before they begin to look stretched out or squashed up. You can also add a border template to create a vintage style border. Make sure to position it on the top layer and adjust the opacity if you want to make it look faded. You can also use other types of page border templates, which can be purchased separately, to create your own unique junk journal pages. Once finished designing, print the pages onto good quality copy paper or lightweight cardstock, fold in half and press with a bone folder. As well as designing in programs like Photoshop, you can also design these covers and pages in Canva. While Canva doesn't have the same tools as Photoshop, particularly the clipping tool, I've designed several frame templates that you can use to easily create your designs. To get started, log into your Canva account. Then open the README document that's included with this template set. The PDF file includes the links to the Canva templates. Select the cover size that you want to make, then click the link which opens the template in Canva. Then click the Use Template button. The template includes the basic cover template, as well as a set of frames for the basic spine, the cover inlay for the basic spine, the wraparound spine, and the cover inlay for the wraparound spine. To design using these templates, first choose a background design for the cover. You can use images or backgrounds from the Canva library, or you can upload your own. To upload your own files, simply drag a file out of the folder and drop it onto the Canva editor. Then resize the image using the resizing handles so it completely fits within the document frame. Click the Position button on the top menu and open the Layers panel. Move the background image to the layer underneath the cover template. To add a spine section to the cover template, select one of the Canva spine frames, either the standard spine or the wraparound spine. To insert a pattern or paper into the frame, grab hold of a paper and drag it over the frame area where it will automatically snap into position in the shape of the frame. Then click on the background area and use keyboard shortcut Ctrl+C or Command+C to copy the frame template. Go back up to the cover template and use keyboard shortcut Ctrl+V or Command+V to paste the copy. The frame template is sized to fit exactly into the document frame, so you don't need to mess about with positioning it. If you want to change the paper, click on the frame area, right-click to bring up the submenu, then select Detach Image. Then delete the paper and start again. The cover inlay frames work in exactly the same way. Once the spine sections are in place, you can continue uploading the templates that you want to use to create your cover design. Before you do that, though, make sure to lock the frames so that you don't accidentally replace the papers that are inserted with other elements of the cover design. To lock the frames in place, click on the background and click the Position button. Select the frame layer, right-click and select Lock. Now when you add additional elements and layers on top, they won't try to snap into the frame area. If you want to adjust the opacity of the border templates, click the Transparency tool and adjust the slider. Once the design is completed, save the page as a JPEG file and print it out. To make the cover lining, create a new design in custom size 11 inches wide by 8.5 inches high. Then upload the lining template and the background paper, or use one of the papers already uploaded. Click the Position button and access the Layers panel. Then move the background paper to a layer underneath the template. Save the file in JPEG format and print it out. To make the pages, create a new design in custom size 11 inches wide by 8.5 inches high. Then upload the page template and the background paper. Click the Position button and access the Layers panel. Then move the background paper to a layer underneath the page template. Save the file in JPEG format and print it out. To make the cover, cut away the white margins around the edges, then make creases along the tab fold lines and along the edges of the spine. I like to cut using a quilter's ruler and a rotary cutter. The clear ruler allows you to accurately align the cuts. You can see that the template prints out with clear visible guides that you can use to accurately make creases along the folds. Using a scoreboard makes it really easy to score your cardstock. The scoreboard helps you to score a straight line. It also helps stretch the fibres of the cardstock, which then makes it easy to fold with a nice professional result. Once the fold-over tabs are creased, fold and press them toward the inside using a bone folder. Apply glue along the fold-over tabs using a tape runner or double-sided tape. Cut away the white corner sections and the cutaway sections of the spine. Then fold the tabs to the inside and press in place. The cutaway sections of the spine helps to create a folded section with less bulk along the crease. To make the lining, make a crease along the spine sections. Press the folds with the bone folder to make a sharp crease, then cut away the white margins. The lining is sized slightly smaller than the cover, so you don't have to worry about having to trim away any overlapping edges. Glue the lining to the inside of the cover. I prefer to use spray glue because it's less messy, but you could also use liquid glue, a tape runner, or double-sided tape. I also like to run a glue stick around the edges and the spine area on the inside of the cover to make sure that the papers are properly glued. Once the lining has been attached, allow the glue to fully dry. After the glue has dried, press a crease down the spine sections to stretch the fibres of the paper, then carefully fold the covers over and press with the bone folder. If you want to make the cover a bit more rigid than a sheet of cardstock, you can use the Cover Reinforcement Sections template to print out additional cardboard sections that you can glue to the inside of the cover to give it more strength. To use this template, print it onto a piece of cardstock, cut out the pieces, and glue them to the inside of the cover before you assemble it. Or for a more rigid cover, use the cardstock sections as a template and cut the pieces out of cereal box cardboard. To attach the reinforcement sections, glue the cardboard pieces to the inside of the cover before you fold the tabs over. The pieces are sized slightly smaller than the cover so that you can easily fold the tabs over and glue them in place. Center and glue the sections to the inside of the cover using liquid glue, double-sided tape, or a tape runner. Fold the tabs over and press them in place. Then glue the lining on top. You can see that the cover with the cereal box cardboard sections is much more rigid than when using just one sheet of cardstock. The printable journals can be assembled in several different ways. For a no-sew journal, design and print the cover and pages. Then wrap a length of ribbon or decorative fibres around the spine and tie it off. I like to use ribbon and tie it off in a bow. To insert the pages, simply slip the pages underneath the ribbon. This narrow journal only needs one wraparound for one signature, but if you are making a journal with a wider spine, you could wrap the ribbon around the spine several times and then insert several signatures. To make journals with signatures that are sewn in, I've included a set of spine and signature stitch hole guide templates. The hole guides are spaced 1/4 inch apart along the width, and they make it easy to accurately align and punch the holes for the stitches. These templates include PNG format for digital use and PDF format so you can print out the templates onto a piece of cardstock if you prefer. To make holes in the signatures, print and cut out the signature stitch hole guide template. Fold the template in half lengthways and press a sharp crease with a bone folder. Then punch out the holes with a bookbinding awl. Stack the pages into a signature and use some binder clips to keep the pages together. Insert the template into the centre fold and transfer the hole markings using a pencil or a Sharpie. Then punch out the holes using a bookbinding awl. You can use the cover stitch hole guide templates in 2 different ways. To use the printed templates to transfer the stitch holes to the outside cover along the spine, print the guides onto a piece of cardstock and cut them out. Then punch out the holes using a bookbinding awl. I'm using a sheet of craft foam underneath to protect my cutting mat. Position the guide along the spine, then using a pencil or a Sharpie, transfer the hole markings. You can also use the PNG templates to design and print a cover with stitch hole guides printed on the spine. To make hole guides on the outside of the spine, first design your cover, then open the spine stitch hole guide template and position it along the spine section. Move it to the top layer. You can reduce the opacity depending on the colour of the spine if you want the whole guides to print out at a lighter shade. Then print the cover onto a piece of cardstock, finish making the cover, then punch each of the guide holes using a bookbinding awl. Once the holes are punched, you can then sew in the signatures using a pamphlet stitch. To sew a pamphlet stitch, cut a length of thick embroidery thread about twice the length of the journal and thread it through an embroidery needle. Stack your pages into a signature, transfer the signature hole markings and punch out the stitch holes. Then insert the signature inside the cover and align the holes. Starting with the centre hole on the inside, push the needle through to the outside, leaving about 2 to 3 inches of thread on the inside. Sew in and out from one end to the other until you arrive back at the centre. Make sure the thread is taut, then tie off in a knot. Sew the other signatures in the same way. Using these templates, you can also make a journal with sewn-in signatures with the stitches hidden in the spine. To do this, design and print the journal cover and fold over the tabs. Then design and print the cover lining. You can use the printed spine hole guide template to transfer the stitch hole markings to the outside of the cover lining using a pencil or a Sharpie. Or you can use the PNG template to add it to the lining design before you print it out. To do this, open the lining template and add a digital paper. Then open the stitch hole guide template and position it along the spine section. Then print the lining onto a piece of cardstock. Cut away the white edges and fold along the spine section. Punch each of the holes using a bookbinding awl, then sew the signatures into the spine on the cover lining. Once the signatures are sewn in, apply glue to the underside of the lining, then press it onto the cover. I like to use spray glue on the back of the lining and additional glue stick along the spine and edges of the cover to make sure everything well and truly sticks together. Press the lining section onto the cover and allow the glue to dry. Use binder clips to keep the pages out of the way while the glue dries, and use a bone folder to make sure the papers are pressed together firmly. Once dried, carefully crease along the spine fold lines to stretch the paper, then carefully fold the covers over.